My name is Paula Jarzabkowski. I'm a Professor of Strategic Management at the Business School, formerly CAS, in London, and at the University of Queensland Business School in Australia. And today I'm going to tell you a fairy tale. This is the fairy tale of a quest, the quest for strategy as practice. Once upon a time, in a mysterious land far, far away, Igos Leon, 2001, there were three little people who had just finished their PhDs. They were all presenting their unpublished PhD papers in a sub-theme on strategy process. These papers were all, loosely, looking at something new that they called strategy as practice, or micro-strategizing. In their sub-theme on strategy process, there were some very important, powerful people. Some of the important people thought that micro-strategizing in SAP was also important, that studying people's everyday practice was important for helping the strategy field to find its way. It seemed that strategy was a bit lost. But other important people thought strategy as practice was ridiculous. It had already been done by strategy process. It was just old wine in new bottles. And anyway, everyday practice was trivial, studying the science of flipping hamburgers. The little people had no power and no publications, but they believed in everyday practice. So they embarked on a perilous journey to support this new lens. Their quest first required them to overcome a hurdle. To be credible, they would need to get some publications in this mysterious new area. But there was nothing much to build upon because the area was so new. Fortunately, there was a call for papers. It was for a special issue of Journal of Management Studies. It was going to be on micro-strategizing, and it was edited by three important people. Could they overcome this barrier and get their papers into this special issue? They each put their papers to the special issue. It was very scary, and they had to compete with each other. For example, when they all got an R&R, and I think that was 2002, a long time ago, they had to go to another conference called URAM, where everyone who had an R&R was invited to present their papers. So all of them sat with the very important editors, and each presented their paper and saw everybody else's paper. They also got a meeting with their designated editors. It was very exciting, but it also felt like a tournament because they knew that not everybody could get a paper in the special issue. So who would get knocked out? Eventually, when they all got accepted, there was much rejoicing. These three papers were in the 2003 special issue of Journal of Management Studies. They had overcome a big hurdle. But the journey was not over. They were still three very little people who had to still work hard to make their quest succeed. They struggled up the mountain of hard work. applying for research grants, publishing in top-tier journals, needing a SAP website, making important networks, getting known in the USA, running conference scenes, writing books. These seem to be the things that you had to do to get up that mountain and push this quest forward. Oh, it was so tiring because they were very little people. They didn't even have their senior lectureships yet or have got past their probation. So sometimes, when they were working so hard, they slipped back into the valley of despair. Their papers were rejected. Their grant applications were rejected. They went for jobs and they didn't get them. There were awards, but they didn't win them. And of course, there were criticisms of their work. People wrote criticisms about what they were trying to do. And most of all, as things started to succeed and they felt like they were getting somewhere on their quest, there were rumors of strategy as practice death. They remember going to conferences where they were running tracks on strategy as practice, and people in the track were saying to them, "But isn't strategy as practice dead?" Their quest seemed to be dead even as they were here trying to run that quest. It was very tiring, but they were slowly clawing their way up that hill, that mountain. And in that process, they became firm allies and they made a lot of friends. All of these friends and so many more. So they were having a lot of fun by now, and together with their friends, the quest was met. Today, SAP is an everyday practice for strategy research. There are fellowships in strategy as practice. There's a special interest group at the conferences. There was a standing working group for 10 years. There's been PhD students, postdoctoral researchers, professors, so many special issues, 2 releases of a handbook. They feel that somehow their quest has been met. And now, as older people, and maybe a little bit important themselves, they have a remaining quest to see strategy as practice stay vigorous, exciting, full of opportunities. Wishing you all a lot of luck on your quests.